If someone treats you as an option, leave them as a choice. Have you ever felt like you're just an option in someone's life? Like no matter what you do, you're always second best, or worse, not even considered. It's a painful feeling, isn't it? But what if I told you that you have the power to change that dynamic entirely? In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful rules that will flip the script. These aren't just any rules, they're based on reverse psychology, a technique that can make you indispensable in someone's life. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make sure you're the one being prioritized, not sidelined. Rule 1. Value yourself first. The first and most crucial rule is to value yourself first. Think about it. How can you expect others to prioritize you if you don't prioritize yourself? It all starts with self-worth. When you genuinely respect and value yourself, others naturally begin to see you in the same light. Imagine this. You're in a relationship where you always put the other person's needs above your own. You're constantly bending over backward to make them happy, but it seems like they don't appreciate your efforts. Why? Because you're teaching them that your needs don't matter. Now, flip that around. Start putting yourself first. Take care of your own needs, set your own goals, and pursue your own interests. The moment you begin to prioritize your happiness, you'll notice a shift in how others perceive you. They'll start to respect your time and your boundaries because you've shown them that you respect yourself. And here's the reverse psychology at play. By focusing on your own life and goals, you become more attractive to others. They see your confidence, your self-respect, and they realize that if they don't prioritize you, someone else will. Remember, if you don't value yourself, no one else will. Start with you, and the rest will follow. Rule 2. Create boundaries. The second rule is to create boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship because they set clear expectations for how you want to be treated. When you lack boundaries, it sends the message that anything goes, and that's when people start to take you for granted. Let's consider a scenario. You're always available whenever someone needs you, no matter what you're doing. At first they might appreciate it, but over time, they start to expect it. Your time and energy become something they take for granted because you've shown them that you're always there, no matter the cost to yourself. But what happens when you establish boundaries? When you start saying no to things that don't serve you, or you make it clear that your time is valuable, people start to notice. They realize that they can't just expect you to drop everything at a moment's notice. And here's the kicker. The more you respect your own boundaries, the more others will respect them too. This is where reverse psychology comes into play. By creating and enforcing boundaries, you're subtly teaching others that your time and presence are privileges, not guarantees. They'll start to prioritize you because they recognize that if they don't, someone else will. Boundaries aren't just about keeping people out. They're about letting the right people in and ensuring that they treat you with the respect you deserve. Rule 3. Be unpredictable. The third rule is to be unpredictable. In relationships, predictability can often lead to complacency. When someone knows exactly what to expect from you, they might start taking you for granted. On the other hand, a little unpredictability can make you more intriguing and valuable to them. Think about this. If you're always available, always saying yes, and always doing the same things, there's no challenge. But if you mix things up, sometimes you're available, sometimes you're not, sometimes you're warm and affectionate, other times you're a bit more reserved, you create a sense of mystery. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand or can't fully predict. Unpredictability keeps others on their toes. They start to wonder about you, to think about you more often, and they're more likely to prioritize you because they don't want to miss out. This doesn't mean playing games or being inconsistent. It means showing different sides of yourself and not always being so easily accessible. Here's the reverse psychology. By being a bit unpredictable, you're making it clear that your attention isn't guaranteed. This creates a sense of urgency and importance around you, prompting others to prioritize you more highly in their lives. So next time, don't be afraid to shake things up a bit. Keep them guessing and watch how they start to value you more. Rule 4. Prioritize yourself. The fourth rule is to prioritize yourself. This might sound counterintuitive at first, but it's a crucial aspect of being valued in any relationship. Often we fall into the trap of prioritizing others' needs, thinking that this will make them appreciate us more. However, the opposite is usually true. When you prioritize yourself, you send a powerful message. Your time, energy, and well-being are important. This isn't about being selfish. It's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. When you take care of yourself first, you're in a better position to support others, and they in turn will respect and prioritize you. Imagine you have a friend who is always there for everyone else, but never for themselves. They're constantly burnt out, stressed, and overwhelmed. Do people really value their time, or do they just assume they'll always be there because they've never seen them prioritize their own needs? Now think about someone who knows how to say no, who takes time for self-care, and who has clear goals and boundaries. That person commands respect, and people are more likely to prioritize their time and presence. Here's the reverse psychology. When you prioritize yourself, others will see that your time is valuable. They'll realize that if they don't make time for you, someone else will. By showing that you value yourself, you naturally encourage others to do the same. Put yourself first, and watch how the world starts to follow your lead. Rule 5. Use silence as a tool. The fifth rule is to use silence as a tool. Silence can be incredibly powerful in relationships. We often feel the need to fill every moment with words, thinking that communication is the key to maintaining connections. While communication is essential, sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Consider a situation where someone isn't prioritizing you or is taking you for granted. Instead of constantly reaching out or trying to fix things with more communication, try stepping back and giving them space. Let the silence linger. This creates a void, and in that void, the other person has time to reflect on your absence. They start to miss your presence, your voice, your energy. They begin to realize that they might be losing you. Here's the reverse psychology at play. When you stop reaching out and let silence do the talking, it can prompt the other person to take action. They might start to wonder why you've pulled back, and in turn, prioritize you to avoid losing you completely. Silence can also be a powerful way to assert your boundaries without confrontation. It allows you to maintain your dignity and gives the other person a chance to make the next move. Remember, silence isn't about playing games. It's about giving space for the other person to recognize your value. So next time, instead of trying to fix everything with words, consider the power of silence. It might just be the tool that makes someone realize how much they value you. Rule 6. Stay mysterious. The sixth rule is to stay mysterious. There's a reason why mystery is so captivating. It keeps people intrigued and wanting more. In relationships, revealing too much too soon can sometimes lead to a loss of interest. By holding back a little and not always being an open book, you can create a sense of curiosity that makes others more drawn to you. Think about this. When you first meet someone, the excitement often comes from discovering who they are, learning about their likes, dislikes, and experiences. But once everything is out in the open, the mystery fades, and so can the intrigue. On the other hand, if you maintain a bit of mystery, people will want to dig deeper, to learn more about you, and to stay engaged in the process. This doesn't mean being secretive or playing hard to get, but rather not laying all your cards on the table at once. Keep some things to yourself and let others wonder about you. Let them work a little to get to know you better. This approach not only keeps them interested, but also signals that you have depth and layers that are worth exploring. Here's where reverse psychology comes in. When you're a little mysterious, you make people realize that they don't know everything about you, and this can make them prioritize you more. They'll be curious, they'll think about you more, and they'll want to spend more time with you to uncover what they don't know. So, embrace your mystery. It's a powerful tool that can make you even more captivating and valued in any relationship. Rule 7. Give space but not too much. The seventh rule is to give space but not too much. Space in a relationship is crucial because it allows both individuals to breathe, think, and miss each other. However, there's a fine line between giving space and becoming distant. The key is to strike the right balance. Imagine being in a relationship where you're constantly around the other person. At first it might feel comforting, but over time it can become suffocating. The other person might start to take your presence for granted because they know you're always there. On the flip side, if you give too much space, it can create a gap that might lead to emotional distance or even a sense of disconnection. The trick is to give just enough space for the other person to reflect on your value and to miss you, but not so much that they feel abandoned or neglected. This creates a dynamic where your presence is appreciated more and your absence is felt, but it doesn't lead to a loss of connection. Here's where reverse psychology plays a role. By intentionally giving space, you're showing that you're secure and confident enough to allow the other person time apart. This often leads them to value your presence more when you're around. They'll appreciate the time spent with you more because they've had a chance to miss you. So, don't be afraid to step back occasionally and let the other person have their space. It's a powerful way to keep the relationship healthy and ensure that you're always valued. Rule 8. Mirror their behavior. The 8th rule is to mirror their behavior. Mirroring is a powerful psychological technique where you subtly imitate the behavior, speech patterns, or even body language of the person you're interacting with. This creates a sense of connection and understanding, making the other person feel more comfortable and, in turn, more likely to prioritize you. When you mirror someone's behavior, you're essentially telling them, "I understand you and we're on the same page." This can be incredibly effective in building rapport and deepening relationships. For instance, if someone is speaking softly and slowly, matching their tone and pace can make them feel more at ease and understood. On the other hand, if they're energetic and animated, mirroring that energy can create a dynamic and engaging interaction. But it's not just about mimicking. It's about aligning with their energy and mood to create a deeper connection. When someone feels that you're in tune with them, they're more likely to value and prioritize the relationship because it feels harmonious and balanced. Here's the reverse psychology at work. By mirroring their behavior, you're subtly reinforcing the bond between you two. This makes them more likely to invest in the relationship and prioritize your needs, as they feel a stronger sense of connection and understanding. Rule 9. Control the narrative. The 9th rule is to control the narrative. In any relationship, the way you present yourself and the story you tell about who you are can significantly influence how others perceive and prioritize you. When you take control of the narrative, you shape how others see you and, in turn, how they value your presence in their life. Consider this. If you constantly downplay your achievements, talents, or worth, others might start to believe that you're not as valuable or significant. On the other hand, if you confidently share your strengths, your passions, and what makes you unique, you create a narrative that others will buy into. They'll start to see you as someone who is worth their time and attention. Controlling the narrative isn't about bragging or being arrogant. It's about being honest and confident in your own story. It's about ensuring that the way you present yourself aligns with how you want to be perceived. If you want to be seen as a priority, you need to present yourself as someone who is valuable, interesting, and worth prioritizing. Here's where reverse psychology comes into play. By controlling the narrative, you subtly guide others into seeing you in a light that makes them want to prioritize you. When you tell your story with confidence and clarity, others are more likely to believe in it and act accordingly. So, take charge of your narrative. Be clear about who you are, what you stand for, and why you matter. When you control the story, you control how others perceive you and how they prioritize you in their lives. Rule 10. Know when to walk away. The 10th and final rule is knowing when to walk away. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make in a relationship is to step back or even walk away if you're not being valued. It's a bold statement that says, "I won't settle for anything less than being a priority." Walking away isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing your worth and not accepting anything less than what you deserve. It's a way of setting the ultimate boundary, showing that you won't stick around in a situation where you're not being treated with the respect and priority you deserve. Imagine being in a situation where someone consistently takes you for granted, despite your efforts to communicate your needs and feelings. If nothing changes, it may be time to consider walking away. This isn't an easy decision, but it's often the one that commands the most respect. When you walk away, you give the other person the space to realize what they've lost, and often it's only then that they truly understand your value. Here's where reverse psychology comes into play. By walking away, you're showing that you're willing to lose the relationship rather than lose yourself. This move can have a profound impact, often making the other person realize how much they stand to lose by not prioritizing you. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It's about standing up for yourself and only allowing people in your life who see your worth. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you're not being valued, don't be afraid to walk away. It might just be the move that makes all the difference. Remember, these rules aren't about manipulation. They're about self-respect and ensuring you're treated as the priority you deserve to be. By following these principles, you'll not only enhance your relationships, but also reinforce your own sense of worth. So, which of these rules resonated the most with you? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that empowers you to live your best life. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are worth prioritizing.